like to welcome Mr. Charles Lollar to give us insight on how we in Maryland can advance the conservative agenda in the 2012 elections.
Thank you, Jeff.
Charles Lollar.
Thank you very much, and I won't take a whole lot of your time, I promise you that. But it is good to be back in Howard County. I have to tell you, I feel like I'm amongst friends. You know, there's a saying, and I've said this before, that friends are the thing. We were contemplating a race for Congress. Went back about 18 months or so ago, mulling it over, a lot of prayer. We took into that, and we decided to do it. And it didn't work out too bad for us. In fact, and some of this is what I'm going to kind of go over today. In that 5th congressional district, we were able to win the entire portion of southern Maryland, 3 out of 5 counties in southern Maryland. We won outright, 50+%. And when you consider the fact that that was the majority leader's district,
That's right.
we beat him in his own county at 54% in St. Mary's County. And we turned that county for the first time from a liberal county to a conservative one. That was done in Maryland in only 2 other places, and that was in 2 counties on the Eastern Shore. But what's ironic about this whole thing, which again we're going to get into the details here in a second, is that as a state, for the first time in Maryland's history, 60% of our local governments are now conservative. Did you know that? That's exciting. Exciting. And I just have this theory that if 60% of our local governments are conservative, and the last bastion of hope for liberal politics in this state is in Prince George's County and Baltimore City, that if we have the right conversation with the right people, there's no reason why 60% of our delegates and 60% of our state senators can't be conservative, and there's no reason why in 2014 we can't win back the governor's mansion.
Right.
Mobilized actually as of January of this year. I was mobilized back to the Middle East for 9 months, and I just got back 1 October. Now, there's good and bad to that. The good is I was able to honor you all by serving you all over the Middle East as an intelligence officer and a regional engagement officer, working with just about every one of the Arabian countries on the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, all 6 of them. That's the good news. The bad news is my family missed me terribly. Because after a 1.5 years of campaigning, been away from them for 9 months, I came back home really excited, energetic about the next opportunity, the next run. And my wife just kind of looked at me with this like stone look on her face. And I'm getting excited. What do you think about this? And I'm like, and she's just looking at me like, okay, I don't know if we're going to do that. I said, honey, we have to run. They love me. And she looked back at me and said, they may love you, but I don't like you. So I had to back up a little bit and try to find a way to win myself back into the heart of my wife and my daughters, because that will take a strain on your family. And when I stand before my Creator, I'm not going to give an account for how I treated you. Not that you're not a good person, but I will take an account on how I treated that lady and those 4 girls of mine. And yes, I did say 4 daughters. Isn't that something? I know, you got that look like you understand. It's tough, especially with you ladies. You ladies know how you are. So we took a step back and we made a decision that the best way to impact Maryland, in our opinion, is to do all we can to help get people like you all elected into office and support solid elected officials sticking to the same mantra of support and accountability. I truly believe that any person, and I say this without apologizing, that's why I love saying it, any person that chooses elected office works for me, the taxpayer. And I will hold you accountable for every word that comes out of your mouth, and everything that you say, and everywhere that you go. And I will give you kudos and support your campaign when you do the right things. But when you do some of the madness that's going on right now in the White House, and what's going on in Annapolis, and as far as I'm concerned, in our governor's mansion, and our House of Delegates, and our state senate, it's absolutely criminal when you treat everyday taxpayers the way you do, without apologizing, without even telling them what you're doing, trying to backdoor things and deals, slip things in on not your money, but our money. It's a crime. And it's wrong. It's bad, but we were plugged into something greater than ourselves. And it's what we called America, even in Georgia. Race relations have always been a problem, but something greater than that always stood up on the inside of every American. That's why we cannot stand illegal immigration. It's not that we're racist people, we just want you to do it the right way.
Right. Amen.
We want you to be held accountable to a standard, that we all have to be held accountable to the same one. And don't turn around and flip a race card or a gender card when it comes to being fair and doing the right thing. I believe our state here in Maryland is ripe for that type of turnaround. But it's going to take work. The efforts of what you're doing in this room and across the state, which is why I've compelled our team, not just the 3, 4 folks that you see here that came from Southern Maryland across the state, but others, a couple hundred others that are part of New Day, Maryland, that are concerned about where our state's going and what we can do to actively get involved to turn the tide. We are not, let me say this first, we are not the end-all, be-all, never will be. We're just one of many groups, organizations that are working together for change. We're not ignoring 2012. We're trying to make sure 2012 is built up and it works its way so in 2014, Maryland can see that change. That's not a plan that says, hey, this is Charles Lollar's plan. This is New Day's plan. No, this is our plan as conservatives looking to make a difference in 2014 to get 60% of our delegates and state senators elected into the House and the state delegates so we can flip our House. Wouldn't it be something to wake up that day in November 2014 and have a majority conservative in the House of Delegates?
Wow.
Does that not give chills up your spine? And I tell you, there are some elected officials that are conservative that would hate to see that day because they enjoy being a big fish in a small pond. No, we're going to make that pond big, full of conservative fish, so we can get our state back on the right track. And I believe if we don't lose the momentum we have that came out of 2010, we can absolutely do it in 2014. But it's going to take hard work and it's going to take a plan. Please, when you get a chance, visit newdaymaryland.org. Take a look at the red print. This just gives you a synopsis of it. I think it's nice. I think they did a good job putting it together. But if you go on the actual website, you'll see the whole plan there, which is a living, breathing document. We continue to add more and more and more and more to it every day. As people call, as business leaders give us their piece, we add it to it, we add it to it, so that document can be used by all. We need a plan. And this plan, I am willing to work, to sojourn, to push, to travel as often as I can. As long as they let me go to the Pentagon for crying out loud. As often as I can to make sure the information behind this plan, that it gets out. Because we need Marylanders to know. We don't have to stick our heads in the sand. We don't have to wait till the last minute. We can start preparing now. And if we prepare now, it makes 2014 a foregone conclusion of things that we know can happen. See, I believe that you can see the vision before it actually comes to pass. And I just want a few more vision seers that can see what I see and know that Maryland can change. Get behind a plan. And then number 2, let's find some good people. We need to find some good people. And you know some good people. You know good conservative folks, whether in business or not, that can help the cause, whether as a delegate, whether as a state senator, even as a commissioner, because we want to get behind these folks and give them some money. Help them. Give them notes. Tell them what to speak of. Tell them what to talk to. I'm trying to be very practical with you right now. Because we need not just a plan, but good people to carry that plan. And then to run for office in areas specifically where the current delegate and state senator aren't doing the right 30 days of a new delegate, senate, and governor administration, we get that thing changed just like that. We start re-empowering Marylanders. We do something about these excess regulations in our state that keep small businesses from growing. Do something about the tax, not just the unemployment tax, but the income tax and the sales tax and every other tax. We can do some tremendous things. We have to find good people. She said, Charles, I want to talk to you for a second. I said, well, what is it? Whenever she says that, I get a little nervous. She said, I'm really upset about something, and this just hit me, and I'm thinking, what didn't I do? I'm going through the list. I washed the dishes. I know I did that. I know I took care of cooked the food. I know I did the dinner. I'm versatile. Seriously, I go to work and come home. I'm really good at that stuff. They've taught me well how to vacuum the whole night. What didn't I do? She said, no, it's not you. It's just something I want you to remember this. She said, and when you get a chance, I want you to say it. She said, I'm really tired. This is my wife now, little dainty little Rocha. She said, I'm really tired. Because we had just seen the Occupy Wall Street folks on Fox News and Hannity. And she says, I'm really tired of people wanting the American dream without having the American spirit. I told her, I said, honey, be careful, you may hear that quote later on TV someday. Because the American spirit is why the American dream exists. It's a belief in something greater than yourself. That we have certain unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you cannot pursue happiness sitting on your butt with your hand out. You got to get up and go chase it, go run it down, and you got to go get it. We in Maryland can absolutely do the same thing. That's what New Day Maryland is all about. I guarantee I didn't bail on you. I did not bail on you. We're going to get stingy eventually. But right now, I feel like my higher calling is for 2014, making sure I get behind some good folks in this room and across this state. Let's get them elected. Let's flip this House, this delegate. Let's flip this Senate. Let's get a strong conservative governor's mansion, and let's get control of our state back. Thank you all so very much. I really appreciate it.